Back, everyone. There's a lot happening throughout the county right now, okay? Specifically on the council front. We want to get a couple updates from County Council President Dan Schatzel. We want to note his opinions or ideals do not represent those of the entire council or its members. As always, Dan, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We've got to talk about the agenda. There's a lot coming up. The council meeting is in a couple weeks, of course, but there are some budget meetings next week. So fill us in about what's happening in that regard.
Well, every year this time we have budget meetings, and right now we're working on the 2026 budget. This is a different year for us because the state has cut our funding by cutting local and business property taxes. And so we are having to go into 2026 looking at spending the same monies we spent in 2025. No budget increases across the board. Our employees will not get increases. And so, you know, it's a difficult budget for us to work on, but we are going to end up with a balanced budget. That's our goal.
Gotcha. That's the goal. And that's next week. Are those meetings next week happening?
They are next week, Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
And you can go to the website of the county and you can zoom in on those meetings. It's Monday and Tuesday evening.
That's good. So people can be a part of that here in the public as well for those who are interested. Let's talk a little bit about state government passing a law recently requiring counties to fund attendance officers at public schools within their boundaries specifically. Right. The council will be taking this up next month, talking about this. Right. But as the president of the council, what are members saying right now? What's the dissent right now about the issue here? Because it seems like this is a big issue you guys are trying to tackle on head on.
Well, it's an issue. It's a different issue for us because we're not used to funding or to handling state mandates that are not funded. This is an unfunded state mandate. The state basically said, counties, we want you to fund attendance officers for schools, and we're not going to give you any money to do it.
Or a way to do it as well.
Well, including that. And so we have to do that while we're working with a budget in 2026 where we cannot increase salaries, where we have to keep our expenses the same as they are in 2025. So it's difficult. I think some of the council members would like to maybe offer a very, very low salary. Some of the council members are talking about, you know, a fair salary.
Okay.
And so we're having those discussions, but we are required by this mandate if a school asks us to fund an attendance officer. And so we've had one school ask us so far, and we have to work that into this budget.
Gotcha.
It's a hard process.
Yeah, if you consider every school district, you're talking a lot of money here, right?
We think it's one attendance officer per 7,500 students, so less than $300,000 with the salary that I think is fair.
Okay.
But still, given a budget where we have to work with the same amount of money next year as we do this year, every little bit matters.
Yeah, a lot to process there. Okay, so you just came back from Canada.
Yes, I did.
Talk about your trip to Canada because it has something to do with some concerns surrounding folks in your district when it comes to railroads.
Right.
Okay,
absolutely.
talk about that.
Well, you know, when I ran in 2022, I knocked on over 6,000 doors, and I kept a list of what people wanted to see us get done. And we have gotten a lot of that done. Commissioner Baxmeyer and I have worked really hard for the people of our district. We got a new salt barn, a new highway facility in an industrial area. We listened to the people when they said, we don't want it in this particular area, put it in an industrial area. We did that. We brought economic development with Microsoft. We've paved some of the worst roads. We've got the Anderson Road Park started, which I'm really happy about. But one of the other things that people mentioned was the railroad crossing on Anderson Road as being so dangerous. And so for the last 2.5 years, I've been working with our economic developer, Bill Shalio, communicating with Canadian National, and every year they would say, well, we'll get to it in the spring.
Right.
And they never got to it. So after we got through this spring, I decided, you know, we're going to have to do something different. And so through my newsletter and through Facebook and other mechanisms, I got the word out to people. You need to email Canadian National, let them know how you feel about this. And we had a huge response. And then my family and I decided, you know what, we're going to kill two birds with one stone. We wanted to take a short vacation. The Canadian National headquarters are in Montreal. And so we went to Montreal.
Wow.
And
what was achieved there? Because there was some success out of this, was there not?
I had a meeting with their public affairs director. His name is Mate Goudou. My French is terrible.
Mine is terrible too. We shared that one, I can tell you that.
But I had a meeting with him, and he said he was very impressed with the number of people who had reached out to Canadian National and said, look, we really need to have this fixed. And so we were able to work out the fact that they would get to it in August. And so we're looking forward to them fixing that in August. He said, we're going to try to get it in August. If we can't get it in August, we'll get it this year.
Okay.
But we're going to hold their feet to the fire, and hopefully we get a new crossing in August.
Okay. Your friends sound good to me. That's how I probably will fail the class if I took it. Dan, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Very good
as
to be
always
here.
for
Thank
being
you.
here. Thank you. We'll be right back. Stay there.